maybe we should leave room for something else. Maybe we should leave room for leadership, the kind that allows a company to transcend these macro obstacles and outperform through thick and thin. Leadership, like the kind of leadership we're getting from Dr. Lisa Su, the CEO of AMD. For those of you who have been living under a rock, and I'm sure some of you have, Lisa Su may be the foremost executive of our time. She arrived in this country from Taiwan when she was 3 years old, whizzed through Bronx Science, a fabulous, difficult magnet school, then went to MIT, where she picked up a bachelor's degree, a master's, and a PhD in electrical engineering. In other words, she's a total East Coast heavyweight. And after she worked at IBM and several semiconductor companies, and she came to AMD in 2012. She took over as CEO in 2014, back when the stock was trading at $2. At the time, AMD was an also-ran semiconductor play with one of the worst balance sheets of any publicly traded company. Many thought the business was destined for bankruptcy, but not Lisa Su, who is one of the most competitive people I have ever met. Even though her background was in engineering, she knew that before she could design new chips, she had to fix the busted balance sheet. That was the only way they'd be able to go after their arch rival, Intel. When Su did raise the money, she got everything she needed. She reached out to me to set the record straight. She explained that my worship of Intel had to end because she was going to run circles around them. I told her I'd been an Intelaholic for ages. It was incurable. I even joked that Intel was keeping AMD alive by treating them with kid gloves to fend off potential antitrust enforcement. You shouldn't think that was funny. As the stock bounced around $10, it took me some time to realize that she was the real deal. Her roadmap to dominate personal computer processors and gaming chips was actually realistic. Then AMD moved into the rapidly growing data center space. Well, I'm glad I started pushing the stock aggressively to you, not just because it's made people fortunes, but also because this is maybe the most impressive turnaround in business I've ever seen. Somewhere along the way, Su built AMD into a company that could indeed did surpass Intel. They now dominate the PC business. They're neck and neck with NVIDIA in gaming and the data center. Today, AMD reported a real scorcher of a quarter, far better than expected. Far, far better, actually. These results, if they were the only news today, I think that this $78 stock could have easily wound up at $100 per share. Just a week ago, we listened to Intel whine about the tough environment. Apparently, it's only tough on Intel's side of the street because AMD's got 56% revenue growth. And that's an astounding number. That's accelerated revenue growth for a big company. However, that wasn't the only news today. We also learned that AMD is doing something that some of you may not have liked. They're buying Xilinx. That's a multifaceted chip maker, and they're doing it for $35 billion in stock. I find it a remarkable feat, given where AMD was trading just 6 years ago. When I asked Su about the deal this morning on Squawk on the Street, specifically the price tag, she explained that it's immediately additive to earnings, day one. And it also brings her balance sheet up to where the company has $5 billion in its coffers. Why buy a semiconductor company with some data center exposure that's mostly known for its Internet of Things business, automotive, telco, defense? She said it's all about the TAM, and I want you to learn this term. The TAM is the total addressable market, how much business there could be. She wants to shoot high in many different markets rather than being pigeonholed into gaming, PCs, and the data center. You know, to me, after initially being skeptical, once again, I was convinced it made a ton of sense. Of course, AMD stock got slammed in the news, down 4%, not because there was anything wrong with the quarter or the deal, but because when you do these big all-stock acquisitions, these arbitrageurs come out of the woodwork. These are guys who are selling AMD and buying Xilinx to take advantage of the gap between where Xilinx is trading and what AMD is willing to pay one day it closes. Others dumped AMD because they don't want to wait a year and a half for this deal to close, as the company seeks approval from regulators all over the world, including China. Still others, I think, though, doubted Su's leadership, her acumen, her decision-making. If I've learned anything from the past 6 years, it's that doubting Lisa Su's leadership is a big mistake. I think AMD's a buy right now, right here.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.